Commander Sun Park stood before the Alliance Military Council. Behind him stood 20 human soldiers in uniform. Across from them were 20 alien warriors from different Alliance species. Honored council members, Sun said, instead of seeing human reflexes as a threat, I propose we use them as an advantage for all of us. Admiral Zev, who led the council, looked doubtful. Explain your proposal, Commander. Sun gestured to the mixed group of soldiers behind him. For the past 2 weeks, we've been training together in combined units, humans and aliens working as one team, using each species' natural strengths. The council members murmured among themselves. This was unexpected. Show us, Admiral Zev said. Sun nodded to his second-in-command. Lieutenant Ho, begin the demonstration. The 40 soldiers split into 4 teams, each with 5 humans and 5 aliens. They moved to different parts of the large chamber. Each team faced a complex combat simulation with holographic enemies and obstacles. Team 1 represents urban combat, Sun explained as the first group began. The Talon soldiers provide strategic planning. Their mathematical minds calculate angles and distances perfectly. The humans provide split-second reactions when surprises occur. The council watched as Team 1 moved through a simulated city. The Talons coordinated perfectly, but when unexpected threats appeared, the humans instantly responded, protecting their alien teammates. Team 2 demonstrates space station defense. Sun continued. In this scenario, the Vizari soldiers used their superior technology and knowledge of ship systems. But when artificial gravity failed, the humans adapted instantly, continuing to fight effectively while their alien teammates adjusted more slowly. Each team showed different combinations of skills. The pattern was clear. Aliens provided superior planning, technology, and specialized knowledge. Humans provided adaptability and lightning-fast reactions to unexpected threats. Most impressive, Admiral Zev admitted when the demonstrations ended. But these are controlled scenarios. Real combat is unpredictable. Just then, alarms blared throughout the station. A voice came over the speakers. Alert! Unknown vessels approaching. They do not respond to communication attempts. Defensive positions. It seems we may have a real test of your theory, Commander, Admiral Zev said grimly. The combined human-alien teams rushed to their assigned positions. Sun joined the command center, where Alliance officers tracked the approaching ships. 5 vessels, unknown design, reported a Marakian officer. They're launching smaller craft. Appears to be an attack force. All teams, prepare for boarding attempts, Sun ordered through his comm unit. Remember your training. The attack came swiftly. The unknown aliens broke through outer defenses and entered the station in multiple locations. They were tall, insect-like creatures with 4 arms and advanced weapons. In the command center, Sun watched the security feeds as his combined teams engaged the invaders. It was just as the training had shown. The Alliance aliens provided perfect tactical coordination, while the humans reacted instantly to the unpredictable movements of the enemy. In Sector 3, a human soldier named Kim noticed a pattern in the enemy's movements just before they fired. He shouted a warning that allowed his Talon teammate to adjust their defense shields at the perfect moment. In Sector 7, a Vizari engineer worked to lock down a critical system while 2 human soldiers protected her, their bodies reacting faster than conscious thought to incoming attacks. After 30 minutes of intense fighting, the invaders retreated. The station had held. Admiral Zev approached Sun in the aftermath. Your combined teams performed exceptionally well, Commander. The invaders clearly expected our normal response patterns. They weren't prepared for human unpredictability. That's the point, Admiral, Sun replied. Alone, each of our species has weaknesses. Together, we're stronger than the sum of our parts. The Admiral nodded slowly. I will recommend to the High Council that your integrated unit program be expanded. Perhaps human reflexes aren't something to fear after all, but rather, something the Alliance has been missing. Sun smiled. Finally, humanity's primitive trait was being seen for what it truly was, not a danger, but a gift that complemented the strengths of their new alien allies. 6 months had passed since the first human delegation arrived at the Vizari Alliance headquarters. Today was a historic day. Earth was officially becoming a full member of the Alliance. Instructor Do-hyun Choi watched proudly as his mixed class of human and alien cadets lined up in the Grand Hall. They wore matching uniforms with different colored shoulder bands showing their species. Do-hyun had been teaching at the new Alliance Combat Academy for 3 months now. "Stand tall," he told them. "Today you are making history." The ceremony was grand. Leaders from all 8 species, the 7 original Alliance members plus humans, sat on a raised platform. Captain Jun Kim, who had been that first human representative, was now Earth's official ambassador to the Alliance. After the speeches and signing ceremony, Do-hyun led his cadets to the training grounds for a special demonstration. Hundreds of Alliance officials and military officers gathered to watch. "Today," Do-hyun announced, "my students will show how different species can work together, using their unique evolutionary advantages." The demonstration began with simple exercises. Talon cadets showed their perfect memory and calculation skills. Vizari cadets demonstrated their superior technology use. Marakian cadets displayed their incredible strength. Then the human cadets stepped forward. They ran through an obstacle course where threats appeared randomly. Their bodies reacted instantly, dodging and twisting with that special human quickness that still amazed the aliens. "What you're seeing," Do-hyun explained to the audience, "is not just physical training. It's millions of years of evolution on a dangerous planet. Humans kept these reflexes because they needed them to survive." The final part of the demonstration was the most impressive. Mixed teams of humans and aliens faced complex challenges together. When planning was needed, the aliens led. When split-second reactions were required, the humans took over. 6 months ago, Do-hyun said, many in the Alliance feared human reflexes. They thought our primitive nervous system made us unpredictable and dangerous. He gestured to the teams working seamlessly together. "Now we understand that different evolutionary paths create different strengths. None is better or worse, just different." After the demonstration, the graduating cadets gathered for the ceremony. The valedictorian was a young Vizari named Telv, who had trained closely with human cadets. When humans first came to the Alliance, Telv said in his speech, "We almost made a terrible mistake. We judged their evolutionary path as primitive because it was different from ours." Telv looked at his human classmates. "We thought that because humans react before thinking, they were less evolved. Now we understand that their reflexes are not a primitive trait, but a remarkable adaptation to their world." The audience applauded as Telv continued. "The Alliance has always prided itself on bringing diverse species together. Yet we almost rejected humans because their strength was different from what we valued." After the ceremony, Ambassador Jun Kim approached Do-hyun. "Your program has changed everything," Jun said. "The fear is gone. Now they want human reflexes on their side." Do-hyun smiled. "It's more than that. They're starting to question their whole idea of evolutionary advancement. Maybe there isn't just one path from primitive to advanced. Maybe there are many paths, each with different strengths." On the training field, a human cadet named Min was teaching a Talon how to trust his body more than his mind in certain situations. Nearby, a Marakian was showing a human how to use leverage to overcome superior strength. "Look at them," Jun said. 6 months ago, the Alliance thought humans were dangerous because of our reflexes. Now they're trying to learn from us." Do-hyun nodded. "And we're learning from them. That's the point of the Alliance, isn't it? Different species, different strengths, working together." As the sun set on the Alliance headquarters, humans and aliens walked side by side. The strange human reflexes that had once caused such concern were now understood for what they truly were, not a sign of primitive development, but a different kind of advancement. forged in the unique crucible of Earth's evolution. Captain Jum Kim stood tall in his crisp blue Earth Defense Force uniform. His hands were sweaty. Today, he would be the first human to speak at the Galactic Council. "Remember, Captain, you represent all of Earth," General Hayes had told him before he left. "Don't mess this up." The alien ship was huge. It could hold 10 aircraft carriers inside it. June tried not to look impressed as the alien guards led him through long hallways. The guards had blue skin and 4 arms. They moved with slow, careful steps. The council chamber was a large round room. 7 different alien species sat in tall chairs around a center platform. This was the Vizari Alliance, a group of the most advanced races in this part of space. They had been watching Earth for 50 years before deciding to make contact. Captain Jum Kim of Earth announced a tall, thin alien with silver skin. "You may address the council." Jun stepped onto the platform. Bright lights shone down on him. He cleared his throat. "Honored members of the Vizari Alliance, I bring greetings from Earth. We are grateful for this chance to join the galactic community. We have much to learn, but also much to offer." As June spoke, he noticed the aliens watching him closely. They seemed interested in his movements, not just his words. One alien with purple tentacles was recording him with some kind of device. "Humans are a young species," June continued, "but we are quick learners." A sudden movement caught June's eye. One of the smaller aliens, a Marakian delegate according to his briefing, had stood up. His face looked angry. He pulled something from his clothes. June didn't think. He didn't have time to think. His body moved before his mind knew what was happening. 3 quick steps, a leap. His arms wrapped around a tall green alien diplomat next to him. Boom! A flash of blue light hit the wall where the green alien had been standing seconds before. The wall melted into slag. June and the green alien hit the floor hard. Alarms blared. Guards rushed in from all doors. The Marakian with the weapon was tackled by 4 security officers. "Are you hurt?" June asked the green alien beneath him. The alien's 4 eyes were wide. It didn't answer. Slowly, June got to his feet. The council chamber was in chaos. Aliens shouted in different languages. Guards formed protective circles around important delegates. "How did you do that?" The green alien finally spoke as it stood up. "Do what?" June asked. "Move so quickly." The Marakian fired without warning. No one saw him draw his weapon. The alien's voice sounded confused. "Yet you reacted before he even fired." June shrugged. "I saw him reach for something. It looked wrong. I just reacted." The silver-skinned alien who had introduced June approached them. "Captain Kim, you moved from your position to Ambassador Threll in 0.83 seconds. This is unexpected." Other council members gathered around now. The purple tentacled alien replayed the recording. On the screen, Jun moved in a blur, tackling the green alien just as the blue plasma blast passed through the space where they had been standing. "Impossible," said one alien with a large head and tiny body. "No sentient species can process a threat and respond physically that quickly without technological enhancement." "It's just reflexes," Jum said, confused by their reaction. Any human soldier would have done the same. The council members looked at each other. Their expressions were hard to read, but Jum could tell they were shocked. "This meeting is suspended," announced the silver alien. "Captain Kim, you will be escorted to guest quarters while we discuss this development." As June left the chamber, he heard the aliens already arguing. Something about threat assessment and evolutionary impossibility. June sighed. First contact was supposed to be about sharing culture and technology. Instead, it seemed Earth might become famous for something else entirely: the weird, scary speed of human reflexes. Diplomat Ju Won-ri sat at a large round table, surrounded by alien representatives from all 7 Alliance species. It was the 3rd emergency meeting this week. The topic was always the same: humans and their reflexes. "The security report is clear," said a tall Merakian general, pounding his fist on the table. "Humans must be classified as a potentially destabilizing species." Ju-1 kept his face calm, though inside he felt worried. He had been Earth's chief diplomat to the Alliance for only 2 months. Now he faced the biggest challenge of his career. "General," Ju-1 said politely, "I understand your concern. But this classification would limit Earth's participation in the Alliance. We would be treated as second-class members. It is simply a matter of security," the Merakian replied. "Your species has combat abilities that were unexpected." A holographic display appeared in the center of the table. It showed simulated battle scenarios. In each one, human soldiers faced different alien forces. The simulation showed that even when outnumbered and using inferior weapons, humans could cause significant damage due to their reflexes. "Look at these numbers," said a female Vizari analyst. "A human force that is outnumbered 3-1 can still inflict up to 40% casualties on a Talon unit before being defeated." The aliens began talking all at once. Ju-1 heard words like threat assessment and containment protocols. "Please," Ju-1 said, raising his voice slightly. "Humans do not want conflict. We joined the Alliance seeking friendship and cooperation." "Pretty words," said the Merakian general. "But now we know what humans are capable of. Your primitive reflexes make you natural warriors, more dangerous than we thought possible." Ju-1 took a deep breath. He needed to change the direction of this conversation. "May I suggest a different perspective?" he asked. When the aliens fell silent, he continued. "Yes, human reflexes give us certain advantages in chaotic combat situations, but Alliance species have many advantages over humans." He pointed to the Talon representative. "Your people can process complex mathematics in seconds." He nodded to the Vizari. "Your spatial awareness allows you to navigate without instruments." He turned to the Merakian. "And your physical strength is 3 times that of our strongest humans." Different evolutionary paths created different strengths, Ju-1 said. "None makes one species superior overall." A smaller alien with purple skin spoke up. "But military capability is what matters in this discussion. The simulations show that if humans ever decided to fight against the Alliance, we won't," Ju-1 said firmly. "Earth values this partnership." "Perhaps today," said the Merakian. "But what about in 50 years? Or 100? Can you guarantee future human generations will feel the same?" Ju-1 couldn't answer that. No one could promise what future generations would do. The meeting continued for hours. Reports were presented showing how human reflexes compared to different Alliance species. Military analysts had calculated the exact advantage humans would have in various combat environments. By the end, Ju-1 was exhausted. The Alliance had not yet decided on humanity's official classification. That would come from the High Council in a few days. As the aliens filed out of the room, the Vizari representative stayed behind. "Diplomat Re," she said quietly, "you should know that not all of us see humans as a threat. Some of us are more curious than afraid." Ju-1 nodded. "Thank you. I hope the Council feels the same way." "The decision will be political, not just military," she said. "But be prepared. The Alliance has never encountered a species with your particular abilities. It challenges our understanding of evolutionary advancement." As Ju-1 walked back to the human quarters, he thought about how strange this all was. For centuries, humans had dreamed of meeting advanced alien civilizations. Now they had, and the most primitive part of human biology. Their reflexes was causing the most advanced species in the galaxy to fear them. Sometimes, Ju-1 thought, the oldest instincts were the most powerful after all. Major Tai Kang was eating lunch in the human section of the Alliance diplomacy station when the alarms began. The lights turned red, and a voice spoke in several alien languages before switching to English. "Alert. Station security breached. Hostile forces detected in sectors 3 through 7. Ty dropped his fork and hit the comm button on his wrist. "Security team, report." "Sir," came the quick answer, "armed attackers have boarded the station. They appear to be Vork extremists. They don't want Earth in the Alliance." Ta was already moving. "All security personnel, full combat gear. Meet at Checkpoint Alpha." 5 minutes later, Ty and his team of 8 human security officers were in their armor. They carried non-lethal weapons as required by station rules. Suddenly, the floor shook. The lights flickered. "They've hit the gravity generators," reported Officer Lee. "We're going to lose." Everything went weightless. Tools and food floated up from tables. The humans automatically adjusted their stance, bending their knees to absorb the change. "They're trying to disable the station," Ta said. "Move out. Remember your zero-G training." As they moved through the corridors, they passed aliens floating helplessly. Many species in the Alliance had never experienced zero gravity. Their bodies didn't know how to handle it. "Help them if you can," Tide ordered, "but our priority is stopping the attackers." In Sector 5, they found their first group of Vork extremists. The Vorks were large aliens with thick armor and 4 arms. They carried energy weapons. "Surrender now," Ta called out. The Vorks fired instead. Energy bolts flew through the corridor. What happened next amazed the watching aliens. The human security team pushed off walls and ceilings, spinning and twisting in the zero gravity. Their bodies reacted instantly to each threat. One human even caught a piece of flying debris without looking and used it as a shield. Ty felt the familiar combat focus take over. Time seemed to slow down. He could see each energy bolt moving through the air. His body twisted automatically to avoid them. The team fired back with their stun weapons. 3 Vorks were down in seconds. "How are they moving like that?" One Vork shouted. "It's impossible." The station's security cameras recorded everything. In the command center, Alliance officials watched in amazement as the humans fought. The humans seemed to know where attacks would come from before they happened. They reacted to threats from behind without looking. They caught thrown objects in midair. "The environmental systems are failing in Sector 8, an Alliance officer reported, temperature dropping rapidly." Tay's team pushed forward, taking down Vork fighters as they went. When they reached the central control room, they found the leader of the attack. "You will not join the Alliance," the Vork leader growled. "Humans are too dangerous, too unpredictable." "We're just trying to help," Ta said. The Vork pressed a button. "Too late. I set the reactor to overload. This station will be destroyed." Without thinking, Tai threw his stun baton. It flew straight and true, hitting the Vork's hand just as he reached for his weapon. In the same motion, Ta pushed off the wall and tackled the Vork to the ground. "How?" the Vork gasped. "How did you hit my hand from that distance in zero gravity?" Ta didn't answer. He was busy tying up the Vork and checking the reactor controls. "Officer Park," he called, "get over here. We need to stop this overload." Working together, the human team managed to reset the reactor. Throughout the station, power and gravity slowly returned. When it was over, Alliance security forces took the Vork prisoners away. An Alliance admiral approached Ta. "Major Kang," the admiral said, "we have reviewed the security footage of your team's response. I must say, we have seriously underestimated human capabilities." Tai simply nodded. "We were just doing our job, Admiral." "Perhaps," the Admiral replied. "But I think your job has just changed the way the entire Alliance sees humanity." Engineer Mina Lee checked her combat suit one last time. Around her, 4 other human soldiers did the same. They were in a large room on the Alliance military station. Mina felt the eyes of many alien officers watching them from an observation deck above. "Remember," she told her team, "they don't believe the scientists' reports. We need to show them what humans can do." A tall, red-skinned alien with bone ridges on his face approached. This was General Krev of the Alliance forces. "Engineer Lee," he said in a deep voice. "I hope you are ready. My best warriors from 5 different species are eager to test your human reflexes." Mina nodded politely. "We're ready, General." The demonstration area was a large open space with obstacles and barriers. Mina's team would face off against 5 teams of alien warriors, one after another. The first test was simple target shooting. The aliens went first. They were bird-like creatures with 4 arms. They hit every target with perfect accuracy, their movements smooth and planned. When Mina's team took their turn, they were almost as accurate. The aliens looked unimpressed. "As expected," General Krebs said, "your weapon skills are adequate but not exceptional." The next test involved planned movements through an obstacle course. Again, the aliens performed perfectly, moving with careful precision. The humans were fast but made small mistakes. General Krebs smiled. "You see, humans are simply less evolved. Their movements are rough and unplanned." Then came the third test, the one Mina had been waiting for. "This is a reaction course," an alien officer explained. "You won't know what's coming." Mina's team entered a new area. Suddenly, targets popped up randomly. Some fired harmless light beams. Platforms moved under their feet. Obstacles swung from the ceiling. The humans transformed. They dodged, rolled, and twisted. Their bodies reacted instantly to each new threat. When an unexpected blast came from behind, Sergeant Kim didn't even look. He just dropped to the ground as the energy beam passed over him. The alien observers were silent. The 4th alien team tried the same course. They were strong and skilled, but they could only react to what they saw. When threats came from behind or moved too quickly, they were hit. "This must be a trick," General Krebs said, his voice angry. "No trick, General," Mina replied. "Just human reflexes. Then we will try real combat training," Krebs decided. "You're 5 against my 5 best warriors. Practice weapons only, of course." The final test was in a large arena. Mina's team faced 5 different aliens, each chosen for their combat skills. The aliens were bigger, stronger, and had better technology in their practice armor. "Begin," called General Krebs. The aliens attacked with perfect formation. They moved as a unit, covering each other. It was impressive and would work well against an enemy that fought the same way. But the humans didn't fight the same way. They split up. They used the environment. Most importantly, they reacted instantly to every move the aliens made. When an alien warrior lunged at Private G, she was already moving before he began his attack. It looked like she could predict the future. In 10 minutes, all 5 alien warriors had been tagged out by the practice weapons. Only 2 humans were eliminated. The observation deck was completely quiet. Mina stood in the center of the arena, breathing hard. "Any other tests you'd like to run, General?" General Krebs' face was hard to read, but his voice was tight when he spoke. "The demonstration is over. We have much to discuss." As Mina's team left the arena, she heard the alien officers talking quickly among themselves. Words like reassessment and combat potential kept coming up. Humanity's place in the Alliance had just changed forever. Dr. Jin Yoon stood before the Alliance Scientific Committee. 20 alien scientists from 7 different species watched him with curious eyes. Jin adjusted his glasses and took a deep breath. "Thank you for inviting me to speak," he began. "I understand you have questions about human reflexes." The head of the committee, a tall blue alien named Professor Xan, nodded. "Yes, Doctor. Your species has shown reaction capabilities that puzzle us. We wish to understand how this evolved." Jin touched a screen, and an image of Earth appeared on the wall. "To understand human reflexes, you must first understand Earth," Jin explained. "Our planet has always been dangerous. For millions of years, our ancestors lived in constant danger from predators." He showed images of lions, tigers, and other Earth predators. The aliens leaned forward with interest. While your species were developing technology and complex societies, our ancestors were simply trying to stay alive, Jin continued. Those who could react fastest survived. Those who were slow became food. Professor Xan raised a thin hand. But all species face evolutionary pressure. Why did humans develop such unique reflexes? Jin showed a diagram of the human nervous system. The key is our dual nervous system, he said. Most actions require our brain to think and decide. But when there's danger, our spinal cord can make decisions without waiting for the brain. It's like having a backup computer that only handles emergency responses. The aliens murmured among themselves. One with many tentacles spoke up. My species evolved on a world with few predators. We developed intelligence first, then tools to protect ourselves. We never needed such rapid physical responses. Jin nodded. Exactly. Earth forced a different path on us. Now, let me explain something called the fight-or-flight response. Over the next 20 minutes, Jin explained how human bodies changed during danger. He described how adrenaline made humans stronger and faster in threats. He showed videos of mothers lifting cars to save children, soldiers continuing to fight despite serious injuries, and ordinary people performing incredible feats when scared. The most interesting part, Jin said, is that humans can't easily control these responses. They happen automatically. A soldier doesn't decide to dodge a bullet. Their body moves before their mind knows why. Professor Xan looked troubled. This suggests humans are less evolved, more animal-like in their responses. Jin smiled. That's one way to look at it. Another view is that humans kept a valuable survival trait, while other species lost it. Is careful thinking always better than fast reaction? It depends on the situation. A scientist with scaly skin asked, "Can humans improve these reflexes with training?" "Absolutely," Jin replied. A trained human fighter doesn't just have fast reflexes. They have trained reflexes. Their bodies learn patterns of movement that become automatic. A master martial artist doesn't think about blocking an attack. Their body just does it. Jin showed a final slide with a question. Different evolutionary paths or different levels of evolution. The Alliance has always ranked species by their evolutionary development, Jin said. But perhaps we should consider that different planets create different kinds of intelligence. Humans may think slower than Talons but react faster than Merakians. Is one truly better than the other? As the presentation ended, the alien scientists talked excitedly among themselves. Many wanted to run new tests and studies on humans. Professor Xan approached Jin privately. "Doctor, your presentation was most illuminating. But I must ask, do you understand why some in the Alliance find human reflexes concerning?" Jin nodded slowly. Because in combat, thinking fast isn't as important as moving fast. And humans move very fast indeed. Professor Xan's eyes narrowed slightly. Precisely. The Alliance Military Council is now reassessing humanity's potential as both ally and otherwise. Jin understood the hidden message. Humanity's place in the galaxy was changing, all because of their primitive reflexes. The main conference room of the Alliance station was filled with high-ranking aliens. They watched a large screen on the wall with total focus. The screen showed humans fighting in zero gravity. The footage from the attack was being played again and again. Senior researcher Hyun Choi stood beside the screen. He was the leading human expert on neuroscience who had been working with Alliance scientists. Today, he would explain what they were seeing. "As you can see," Hyun said, pointing to the screen, "Major Kang dodges this energy blast without looking at it. It comes from behind him, yet he moves at exactly the right moment." Admiral Zev, the head of Alliance security, leaned forward. "How is this possible? Does he have eyes in the back of his head?" Hyun smiled. "No, Admiral. He felt the heat from the energy weapon. His body reacted before his mind knew why. But that's not the most interesting part," Hyun continued. He touched a control, and the video slowed down to show a human officer catching a flying piece of metal without looking. Notice the timing, Hyun said. From the moment the metal broke off the wall to when Officer Lai caught it was 0.3 seconds. That's not enough time for conscious thought. The aliens murmured among themselves. A Talon scientist raised her hand. We've studied human reflexes for weeks now, she said. But there's something more happening here. These reactions are too complex for simple reflexes. Hyun nodded. You're right. And that brings me to our new discovery. He showed a scan of a human brain on the screen. Parts of it were lit up in different colors. Humans don't just have faster reflexes. We experience time differently in combat. The room became very quiet. When humans face danger, our perception of time actually slows down. Han explained. Our brains process information much faster than normal. What feels like a second to us might feel like half a second to other species. To demonstrate, Hyun showed a comparison. Two videos played side by side. One showed how an alien saw the world. The other showed how a human in combat saw the same scene. In the human view, everything moved slightly slower. This is not fiction, Hyun said. We can measure the increased neural activity. During high stress, human brains can process information up to 2.5 times faster than normal. An Alliance general stood up. Why didn't we know this before? We've studied humans for decades. Because it only happens during real danger, Hyun replied. You can't see it in a normal test. The human must truly believe they are in danger. He showed more clips from the attack. Humans moving with impossible speed and precision, reacting to threats that seemed too fast to avoid. Look at this move, Hyun said, showing Major Taz spinning to avoid 3 energy blasts while firing his own weapon. His body is making dozens of small adjustments. No conscious mind could control that. It's his combat reflexes taking over completely. The Alliance leaders looked worried now. One admiral leaned over to whisper to another. Hyun noticed their concern. I understand this is surprising. You thought humans were far behind you evolutionarily. But our primitive nervous system gives us advantages you don't have. Admiral Zev stood up. Researcher Choi, thank you for your honest explanation. I must ask, in your professional opinion, what are the combat implications of these human abilities? Hyun paused before answering. Admiral, a human soldier can react to threats before they're consciously aware of them. They can process combat situations faster than your species, and they can make complex physical movements without thinking. He let that sink in before adding, in certain combat situations, especially chaotic ones, humans would have a significant advantage over any Alliance species, regardless of technology. The room erupted in concerned voices. Hyun could see the fear in some alien eyes, the calculation in others. The Alliance's view of humanity had just changed forever. The primitive humans were suddenly looking much more dangerous than anyone had expected. 3 days after the incident at the council meeting, Captain Jum Kim sat in a white room on the Vizari space station. 2 alien scientists studied him from across a metal table. They were Talons, tall aliens with gray skin and large round eyes. I am Dole, said the taller one. This is my research partner, Han. We thank you for agreeing to these tests. June nodded. Earth Command wants to build good relations. If studying me helps, I'm happy to do it. The door opened, and Lieutenant Sue Park walked in. She was a small woman with short black hair and the confident walk of a soldier. Lieutenant Park reporting as ordered, sir, she said to June. Thank you for coming, Lieutenant, said Han. We asked for a human with combat experience. Your records show you have served in 3 campaigns. Sue nodded. Yes, I was part of Earth's peace force on Mars and fought in the Jupiter-Moon conflicts. Dole moved to a control panel. We will begin with simple reflex tests. For the next 2 hours, the aliens ran tests on both humans. They measured how fast June and Sue could catch falling objects. They tested how quickly they responded to lights and sounds. They measured reaction times when the humans were calm and when they were stressed. This is very strange, Han said, looking at the results. Your conscious reaction time is good but not remarkable. Yet when you react without thinking, you move much faster. That's how humans work, said Sue. We don't have to think to move. The aliens looked confused. Dole pulled up an image on a large screen. It showed a scan of a human brain. Your species has a dual nervous system, Dole explained. Your spinal cord can make decisions without your brain. This is completely different from our biology. Now we will test combat reflexes, said Han. Lieutenant Park, please stand on that platform. Sue stepped onto a circular platform. A light field surrounded her. This is a safe simulation, Han explained. You will feel pressure but not pain. Suddenly, small silver balls shot at Sue from different directions. Without even looking, she dodged, ducked, and twisted. Her body moved like water, avoiding nearly every ball that came her way. The aliens stared with their large eyes open even wider. You didn't see half of those projectiles, Dole said. They approached from behind you. How did you avoid them? Sue shrugged. I felt the air move. I heard them coming. My body just moved on its own. Impossible, Han whispered. A brain cannot process that information so quickly. That's the point, Jun said. Our brains don't process it. Our bodies react first. We think later. Dole and Han spoke quickly to each other in their own language. Then they brought in a Talon warrior. He was taller and stronger than both humans. They ran the same test on him. The Talon warrior moved with grace, but he was hit by most of the balls that came from behind. He could only avoid what he saw coming. I understand now, Dole said after the test. Humans evolved on a planet with many dangers and predators. You develop the ability to react to threats before your conscious mind knows they exist. Our species never needed this, Han added. We evolved on calmer worlds. We think first, then move. This gives humans a clear advantage in unpredictable combat situations. Jun and Sue exchanged looks. They had never thought of human reflexes as special. We need to report this to the council, Dole said. And I want to run more tests. The military leaders will be very interested. Sue frowned. Why? Does this change how they see humans? Dole looked uncomfortable. Let's just say that your species has been underestimated. The council thought humans were far behind us in evolution. Now they will need to reconsider. As they left the laboratory, Jun wondered if their primitive reflexes had just changed humanity's place in the galaxy.